312 a month, 307. Oh, hello. This is the 5 reasons why you won't regret getting the BZ4X from Toyota. Number 1 being the price. Here on Leasing.com, I'm looking at some amazing prices. 296 today being the cheapest. It was 270 yesterday for a brand new Toyota. Looks as good as this. Never break down. No brainer, isn't it?
It is if you ignore everyone on Reddit who say very unkind things about this car's plastic bits.
I'm alright with these black bits. Look, I like the ruggedness of it. In a puddly car park, rugged, want a bit of mud on there. Number 2 is the 10-year warranty. 10-year warranty on these. In fact, all Toyotas and Lexus are 10-year warranties. Give me a car, if it breaks, I just want to take it in. I don't want to have to speak to the manager. Brilliant, Toyota, well done. Number 2, 10-year, yeah.
It's unlikely you'll keep this for 10 years. It's not really a car, it's a computer. And unlike most computers, this won't blow up after 2 years just so that you have to buy another one. But the fact that Toyota stand by this product and hold your hand, I love.
So we're on the charger hunt to see whether we can get a charge, whether there's somebody there. Do you ever do that when you get there and it's the middle of the night and you need a charge and you speak to the man who's already got his car charged to 70%? Oh, I need another 20 minutes, mate. Yeah, but I've got 10%. Can't you go? I don't know why people do. Oh look, there's no one at it. That's great. So the reason I wanted to do a charge now is because this has 2 batteries. It has the main battery and then there's a little battery that controls things like the screen and the switching on stuff. Now that can deplete if you leave the ignition on for a long period of time. So it's always good to not leave the ignition on for a long period of time. There's the camera as we pull in. Very nice. Let's have a look. So there's no silly button inside to open it. We're going to get the double. Card payment, start charge, £25. You want the TUI. Press start. Starting.
Range is 300 miles or 200 for others on the front wheel drive. Consumption is okay at 3.5 to 4.8 miles per kilowatt hour. I've seen cars with, let's not do the names, with hideous 2 miles per kilowatt hour. And you can do long journeys on average 200 miles including motorway with some charge left at your destination. Should be okay.
And here's an interesting observation. It could be cognitive bias or it could be something really quite telling. The people who don't have one of these are extremely negative about it. The people who do have one love it. Lots of buttons to press. For example, this view one, which will show you the world. It shows you the car in the world, or if you press it, you can actually see through the car. You can see what's around you. That's amazing. Heated steering wheel, heated seats, a heater that turns on the heat for you, but you use a button for it, which is great. I will say, this takes a while to heat your feet.
Full disclosure, best way to enjoy this car is of course to charge it at home, but you will get an 80% charge if you find 150 kilowatt in about half an hour. Some say though this is a slower car at charging in general, meaning some are not getting the maximum 150 kilowatts from the charger, but that can also be about as much as the charger as the car, and this is not an expensive thing.
So we're back to the computer analogy then, really, because you could say, for example, if it was a MacBook Pro, you could have a MacBook Pro with 1 terabyte, yeah, for £3,699, or you can have a MacBook Pro that does slightly less, slightly slower, but still really good at £1,699. It's horses for courses, isn't it? Number 3 is vision, comfort and tech. Now, first of all, you get an 8-inch screen as the cheapest one. You don't want that, you want the 10-inch one, which is this one, with wireless Apple and Android. The reason I like that is that every time you get in, you can have, actually the maps and the system itself from Toyota is pretty good. I'd like it to be a bit more colourful, but for that, I just go onto Google Maps, and then whenever you get back in the car, you've got Google Maps on, or Waze, which is even better because obviously there's speed camera alerts and roadworks and stuff. The other thing as well is that this has got a very, very nice sort of armchair feel to it, with this steering wheel that kind of sits in your lap. This is to monitor whether you are paying attention or not, and it gives you little instructions on the head-up display. It will say sit up. How about would you mind sitting up? Then this also helps with fatigue because it's a head-up display that isn't a head-up display. Everything's in front of you. You're not having to move your eyes down quite so much.
Some might argue that you're actually reducing the stress that you're causing with things like having to plan your journeys with other things like the warranty and the driving position. It's all offset. It's clever.
Peace of mind is number 4, because Toyota say that this battery will still have 70% of its life left in it after 10 years, 620,000 miles. Can you imagine an iPhone having the same amount of power in it after 10 years? So the power is okay, 215 horsepower unit. The torque is pretty good. It's about a 7-second 0 to 60, but of course, like every EV, the torque is so beautiful and instant. It's really nice. I'm also going to say that this is on good surfaces, pretty devoid of road noise. I mean, as you can hear now, it is pretty quiet, especially for the money. There's a number of really interesting safety features with this as well. For instance, there's an intersection piece of technology for intersection. So if you're going to be turning left, for example, and there's a car coming from the right, it won't let you pull out. That's clever. There's another thing that if you swerve and it thinks you're going to lose it because you've had to swerve in a hurry, the car will take over the braking and the steering for you. That's good. And also there's an exit thing, so when you try and open the door, if there's a cyclist coming, it won't let you open the door onto a cyclist. All of that, plus most of them, not all of them, have automatic radar cruise, which I think in Toyota is very good. Very subtle, very nice to use, just makes driving a little bit easier. Number 5 is the engineering behind this car, because you're not just getting one car, you're effectively getting two, because Toyota have had 25 years plus in battery technology experience, and for this car they've teamed up with Subaru, who have had hundreds of years in off-roading kind of experience. So it's kind of like a collaboration for the best bits of each manufacturer, and that's actually quite good value. Imagine if Audi and BMW got together.
So, as much as Reddit really is sometimes the truth of the internet today, it might not be when it comes to this car. For me, the BZ4X looks and feels like a much better car than its price might suggest. My vote is go and sit in one and see for yourself, which if you're on Reddit a lot, means you will have to leave the house.